Hey everybody, it is April 9th, 2021. We're in Toronto. A little bit different. A little bit different. Yesterday, on a mission, we destroyed our recorder. I broke the switch somehow. I don't know what's going on. The recorder is fantastic. I love the sound of it, the zoom thing, but the quality is very, very poor. Okay, it just the switch went off on it. Then today, I started using my inbound microphone on the camera with an adapter. But for you to do that, you need to open the back of the camera. The waterproofness of the camera goes away. So I was getting some water moisture in there, and the sound was crickling and cutting in and out, and I didn't want to damage the stuff, so yanked the microphone out. I said, you know what? I'm going to do a overdub, overlay, voiceover. Let's do that. So here are the differences in our situation. What am I firing at? This is a restaurant. This is like a kind of an abandoned restaurant. The thing is, you don't know which store is abandoned, which is slow because of this situation. Is everything looks closed. We are on Davenport. Davenport is a northwest, north south street in Toronto, and we're heading to Bloor Street, which is one of my favorite streets to walk on. A major street in Toronto, east west, and it goes right through the heart of Toronto. So we're Bloor Street West in Davenport. We're about say 3 kilometers from main Toronto downtown area. 4 kilometers, you're right down to the center of the city. Today's raining, a little bit miserable, a little bit dark, but it's okay. We've had a lot of sunny days. I've shot a lot of footage in sunshine and sunsets and stuff. And you know what? When it's kind of cloudy like this, it makes for a nice photographs. The lighting is good. It's a bit moody. I miss this couple. This couple, I should have shot them because umbrellas, couple walking, and then a fantastic shot. I was too busy checking the monitor and stuff like that. This when I'm filming and photographing, I'm losing a bit of edge on photography. I'm a bit late. Sometimes I'm looking at the monitor, trying to see what's going on around me to describe things, and I miss the shots. Here's a look back. I love these look backs because just keep. I find when you keep just walking straight, then you don't have that. Let me make my monitor a bit bigger. I like these. When you look back, you get this feel for the whole street, where you are and more movement. I like that. It's grocery stores. I love these little corner stores, with that some of them selling flowers like this one, and everybody bought all the flowers because they're planting. Summer's here. Summer's here apparently, you know. This area would be very busy on a normal Sunday on a summer holidays, like a weekend. It would have been without the pandemic. This place would be pretty busy, lots of stores and, takeouts and restaurants. I think this is a cinema that's turned into a wine store, I'm guessing. I don't drink wine, so I don't really uh, know about wine stores. I'm actually having a tea right now. This is great. I'm having tea, watching a movie, talking about it. I think, what am I shooting? Oh, this woman, I was waiting for her to get out, and I was hoping she crossed right into my sidewalk in front of me. So it'd be an empty street, empty sidewalk, one woman walking. Guess what? She goes the other way. Why is she going the other way? Oh, this motorcycle was cool too. She's going the other way. She's totally lost it. So I just shot a cab by itself. But can you imagine she wasn't there? It would have been a nice shot. Turn that into black and white, cliche, bang. Shawarmas. Lots of ethnic food on the street. And it's like they all look good. If you got your shawarma store open and busy, laundromat, people are spending the Sunday washing clothes. I was like talking here about when I used to travel for work. I used to travel with one carry-on and a backpack. One carry-on and a backpack, and I would put in there hard drives, the wires, the batteries, the camera, the backup camera, the film camera, blah blah blah, all sorts of stuff. And always I carried a sleeping bag with me, so I could have a sleeping bag on tour with me always. So I wouldn't be able to take a lot of clothes, So I used to take clothes that let this guy go. Come on, let's go. Yeah, you never want to take over. Look at this truck. Looks pretty cool too. It's a city truck. Belongs to the city of Toronto. That's where all your tax dollar goes, to these fantastic looking trucks, man. That's worth the spending the money. So I used to, take with me a t-shirt, a couple of warm jackets, maybe a warm jacket, and I used to take detergent powder with me, and I used to wash my clothes and socks and underwear and everything every night in the sink with the laundry detergent. And I would never use soap. I used soap a few times and it was a mess. it makes so much suds, and you gotta rinse the thing so long. It becomes very tedious. But if you use laundry detergent, a little bit of that is gonna wash your clothes, make them smell nice, and they you don't need a lot of water and time. This pizza place. I'll get a pizza shot coming back that I think is better. It's better. Some of these pictures I do of just streets like this one with a Jeep and stuff, I like that. There's always one picture, one car in a shot. They're just for documentation purposes. Like this area, it's in the heart of the Toronto. And look at the buildings. They're one-story building. They're not going to be here long. Okay, I think the tops 10 years, depending on how the economy goes with the virus and all that. I think you got to put like 3, 4 story condos here at least. You can't have just one story. There's a wedding photographer, and I was looking at these pictures. The eyes around the bride and groom are really dark because he didn't use enough field flash. So, or it might be the lighting in the window, but I think it's like he didn't use enough field flash. Just a touch more field flash would have made that shot just gorge. Yeah, I think these buildings are just sitting there to be destroyed sooner or later. So I like to document the streets. I think that's kind of cool. I photographed the guy next to me here. I don't think it turned out good. And this woman in red. When I see people on the street, I don't really pay attention to what they're doing. I look at like she's having dinner then, and I photographed her, and I kind of felt I didn't want to put the picture up. The picture looks great. I like what she's wearing. I like the way she looks, but I felt bad. She's sitting on the bench eating by herself. It really brings home the loneliness message, which I think is kind of important in this pandemic. If you're a lonely person already, older person, and then you can't hang out with people, your friends and stuff, you become even lonelier, which is kind of sad. It's probably worth mentioning, but I just like the way she was dressed. She was dressed really nice in colorful clothing. This is an interesting store. Has all these party dresses, I guess, for communion and all sorts of stuff. What happened was I like to shoot these window displays too because I think these are classic. They're not no modern window is like this. I like this little mirror to the right of the thing. I was looking for a car to go buy and get a new car in there. I wanted that piece to say something, and this guy walks by, and I think this guy made my shot for a whole day. And it's just interesting to have one person on the other side with a mirror, like done with mirrors tour coming in, and just made it a little bit more interesting than just the window shot. Like a lot of these photographs that I take here are just for documentation purposes. I don't think they're very artistic or whatever. People are gonna look at them on Instagram. I don't think like people that interested. But you want to do a documentation with some human element in there, something that just adds a little bit of story. This woman was standing out here, I think, waiting for somebody to get her coffee to come in, probably her friend or something. So I took a good shot of her. It's interesting. Tim Hortons, a big Canadian thing. Everybody loves it. Their coffees and sugary stuff and all that. So include that. Yeah, there's a lineup here. It's like, why are they lining up? The whole street is empty, and everybody's lining up here. And this guy's even passed out on the side waiting for the lineup to, it's like a rock concert. Look, there's a jerk chicken place. At first I thought they're lining up to go to a Van Halen concert. In New York when they had concerts in this club that was near my place, Webster Hall. And I had kids just like passed out on the sidewalk 3 days early just to make sure the front row. And this guy sitting next to the sitting on the sidewalk reminded me of that. He's got this front. He wants to get front row. Meanwhile, it's for chicken. It's like chicken. I love chicken myself. I almost have chicken every night. This tea is good. Make sure people watching my videos. I think if you're watching my videos, the normal ones or the narrated ones, whatever, I think you should have a coffee or tea while you're watching. I think it adds a little bit more excitement. So have a coffee, sit with your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Watching them alone is kind of, bring your friend in, have some coffee. This is A&W root beer things are hot dog places, hamburger places that are opening everywhere. A couple of years back, I never even heard about them. Now, you can't walk in any corner without seeing one of these massive places. They're doing well apparently, I guess. So we did a turnaround. So I did the walk between Dufferin. From Davenport, I walked to Dufferin. And Dufferin, I walked back. I like to do this like a little small loops so that I can get feel for both sides of the street, kind of a really concentrate. I find it when I just walk from one direction to the other, it just you miss a lot of stuff, right? Sometimes you pass by one place and come back the other way. It's a little bit more, you observe the area more, even for photography. Sometimes when I watch these videos, and I wonder, I go, why don't you look this way? Well, why don't you take pictures of that? Like, it's so much stuff to photograph. If you want to be a photographer, and you always think you have to go to New York and Paris and Milans and Iceland and to get the real good subjects. That's not true. Your local street down the street from you has tons of stuff to photograph. You just have to learn to see. This is just like a random street. There's tons of stuff here. And as I'm looking and I'm saying, oh, why didn't I look at that? Well, what's that? So I feel like going back there again. And a lot of people feel they want to go to the major tourist attractions, go to Iceland. People take people to Iceland all the time. The tour stops, you get off, you take a picture of the funny mountain with ice and snow on it. You go to New York City. This guy's house is pretty nice. He's got a huge mural right in his backyard. It must be a business. And he had a nice backyard too. And you go to the tourist spots and you take the tourist pictures and you think it's nice, but it's already been done. I don't think many photographers come here and shoot this street because it's kind of like obscure part of the major street, So it's interesting to look at this alleyway. I tried to shoot this woman, but she saw me and moved out, and I didn't fight her around. I should have shot her anyway, but selfie time, selfie, always a selfie. Sometimes when people notice you taking pictures of them and they're the only person in the alleyway, and you just don't want to freak people out too much, because imagine she's getting in her house and then see some guy taking pictures of her. It's kind of like you got to be nice. You got to, you're allowed to take pictures of people if they're on the street and stuff, but you should always try to be, I don't want to piss anybody off. And I just thought she looked great in that alleyway. I would gladly let her have a copy. Look at that shot. It's nice actually in the video too. Bunch of buildings that are not going to be there in about 5 years. Here I'm approaching that 241 or 241 pizza. They've got their name. Their phone number is their name. How clever is that advertising, huh? Their phone number is their name. Like that was like the 80s or something. And I shot this guy. I like this guy. I fired a whole bunch of shots. And I like that shot because there's three of them. There's a guy eating a pizza who bought a pizza and is about to buy a pizza. It's like a past, present, and future tense in English language, He's eating, he's going to eat, and he's about to eat, and he's, all the tenses in that picture. And again, because that story is pretty iconic, it's kind of very cheesy name, and very Toronto. Fired a couple of shots there that I kind of enjoyed. So I think on this walk, I have like two decent pictures. The rest are, I would say, fillers. They're not bad. They're documenting the street. Maybe come in 100 years, but they might be interesting. But now they're, just whatever. But I think we'll see. Once I haven't processed the pictures yet. And when you process the pictures, and you tone them and color them, and then some of the pictures that you don't think they're very useful, they take the mind of their own. They take the life of their own, and they become a story on their own. So you can never tell on the street what you have till you go and process the pictures. I mean, people who take pictures and delete them right away, I think they're making a big mistake, because while you're taking the pictures, you're thinking one story, but when you get home and you process the images and put color into it and take the color out and you look at the little details, you see a complete different stories. There have been times that I took a picture, I thought, this picture is useless, and turned out to be one of my favorites for the day, right? It's always favorite for the day. The next day, you got to get a new favorite. You can't just have one favorite and done. You're always looking for the next favorite. You're looking for the next high. And that's what makes it fun shooting on the street, is that you're never done. It's a game that goes on and on. It's not like a video game that you get to the top level, you finish the game, and you're done. It's a guy selling masks. All the store is masks. That's a cool grocery store too. Like a lot of stuff outside, very small inside, Like it's great for the pandemic. Half the stores pretty much is a curbside. His whole store is a curbside, right? I was talking about here that so many. This is cool too. A basketball mural. I'm not a big basketball fan or any kind of sport, but I like the fact that this guy, I backed up for a shot and I had a runner go right through it. Cue the runner now. Cue the runner now. Come on, where's this runner? Oh, I know my card wasn't reading. Thank God for that. Cue the runner now. Well, it's not coming. I had a, I had a problem with his card. And he wasn't reading, so I had to take it out. And we got a runner. Boom. We got a runner. Catch him. Boom. That runner made the shot. The shot would be a useless shot. With a runner, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. Okay? Without a runner, it would have been like a 1, you know. I was saying how because of all these stores, look at that bird. Oh, that bird was beautiful. Did you see that bird coming in for a slow landing? I was too late to shoot it, but that was a perfect shoot. My God, I love it. As I was saying, most stores are curbside now, right? And if this continues, the stores don't need to be this big anymore. You know, back in like 100, 200 years ago, when the Western time, you know, you didn't have stores like this. You walked in, you give the guy a list, and he give you a product. You put it in the back of a one of those things, you know, horse and carriage things. You went back to your ranch, right? It was just recently in the 80s that you go in and you touch all the clothes, you wear all the jeans, you tried everything on, and you bought stuff and all that. So I think slowly, slowly we're going to be more like that, right? Where you order your stuff, you get your extra large pair of pants, it gets delivered to your house with a drone or a truck from Amazon, and that's it. You don't need the storefront. So I think it's kind of interesting how we've gone full circle from Souvlaki place here. Look at this area too. This is really right behind Bloor Street. We have this big residential places that are just probably from 70s. Amazing. You know, imagine how many houses they tore down there. Old houses, probably 70s or 80s, something like that. Yeah, I was saying it's just going back to Amazon's going to be the new way of doing things, just like 100 years ago. Just give them a list and it got delivered to you. And these stores, I don't know what's going to happen to them in future. It's always fun to go and look at stuff, right? And touch it and wear it, and then but things are changing, I guess. So we're back on Bloor. We're gonna end the ride here. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. This was a different one, different way of doing it. It's kind of interesting. I'm having tea and talking. See you on the next ride. Bye back. Out.